Welcome, Libra. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot getting ready to do a new moon in Leo and total solar eclipse on the 12th of August. So these two distinct but related events are happening on the day that you receive this reading. So we'll talk about it as we move through. The crystal spirit that I pull for you is fluorite. I just love the beautiful greens in here. And fluorite is about focus, laser sharp focus. This is something that helps you learn. This is the kind of crystal that is used by students, young and old, but it is not the kind of energy that you want to keep around you in your bedroom, for instance, because it will disturb your sleep. But this is about concentration and focus. I'm going to read a little bit from the guidebook. When the way forth is clear, a sense of purpose and enthusiasm arises, and the fog of distraction lifts. Fluorite spirit appears when confusion is about to disperse, giving way to pure wisdom and free, unambiguous intentions. It reminds you that you can achieve clarity by slowing down and consciously choosing to release any confusion or distractions. Like a still pool reflecting the beauty of the sky, a calm state of mind can produce the clarity you seek. Allowing your intentions to be pure, obstacles to co-creating can slip away as you work with fluorite spirit to magnify all that is pure, good, and loving within you. Focus on that and it will be amplified. So this beautiful energy is really helping you to work towards what I feel is some greater humanitarian goal that you have. This is about improving the environment for members of your community, members of your family, for the world at large. But this feels as though you are really focusing on absorbing, gaining the tools necessary to impact something that you're creating right now. And from the soul's journey, we have the card acceptance. I'm learning to accept the things that I cannot change. And what I love about this is almost like a dynamic. So often the case with Libra, the balances, right? This is what we're changing. This is what we're accepting. So part of the acceptance comes in accepting who you are. Flawed, but aspirational. Brave enough to try things and make mistakes. Accepting of your own imperfections. And balancing those out with the acceptance of the same among your colleagues, your co-creators, those that you work with. So this is really about you moving into some new area of knowledge, I feel. Something that is challenging the way that you once believed. So, in the present, we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is describing your independence, your ability to utilize all the resources you have, to lean into your vast experience, and to establish goals that have meaning and are integrated for you. Your integrity is primary here. Your standards are high, and your standards are on your terms. What you see as your accomplishment is meant to serve others in a way that allows you to continue to invest in yourself, hence this opportunity for clear thinking, for utilizing, learning new information, incorporating new tools into your arsenal, bringing new people into your fold, into your business, into your classes. Whatever it is you're doing, you are organizing a big tent. But this is based on your experience of perpetual expansion and inclusion. So you feel yourself to be at a very satisfying juncture on your journey, a way of detaching yourself in a healthy way from the energies that you're cultivating as part of this community, as part of this effort. In the past, the Nine of Swords. And this is coming to me as the way that your new knowledge, your new study is challenging beliefs that are fundamental to some social ideology, some professional litany. There's a way that you are undoing habits, thoughts, beliefs, behaviors that inspired you to learn a new way, to heal, so that the things that occur to individuals, that occur to you, understanding they may not be your fault or your responsibility. However, your healing them is your responsibility. And you're taking on the healing of others as well as your own through the tools that you are endeavoring to learn, to include. These new tools are blowing apart systems and beliefs that have not served you, in fact, that have oppressed and limited you, that have caused pain rather than alleviated it. So this is phenomenal and really fundamental to something that you're building here, something that you're building out of a place of independence and integrity, accomplishment, experience that has taught you to invest and reinvest, to invest in self and to invest in those opportunities that are aligned with your own success. And in the future, the Six of Cups. This is about experiencing this phenomenal gift you have. It can be a gift related to what you are studying. It can be a gift that helps you to relax, share something you share with others. There's perhaps a memory that you are recalling that is informing what you're studying. There's something here that is telling me that you are relearning or reviving some kind of an ancestral practice. Perhaps there was someone in your family who was a doctor, and I mean a naturopath doctor, a midwife, an herbalist, or for some of you, a shaman, someone who the community went to help. And that can be your own ancestral attachment to that energy, that connection to shamanism in your own cultural or ancestral line. So this feels very much about physical healing. For a lot of you, there's a lot of physical healing, not only that you've done, this can be emotional healing. When I talk about physical, I mean the human body, the human soul is part of that body. but the kind of healing that you've come to understand is necessary in order to invest in authentic independence and success, achievement, accomplishment. And so there is this way in which you are recalling back some kind of ancient tradition. If this is resonating for you, Libra, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you. So I'm going to clarify the 9 of Swords in the past with the 3 of Water and the 10 of Water, the 9 of Pentacles with the Messenger of Air and the 6 of Earth and the 6 of Cups with the Call, that's the Judgment card, and the 3 of Air and the 3 of Swords. Okay, there's a lot here, a lot of healing energy here. So the past, really recognizing the kind of oppression, limitation, betrayal, heartache, victimization that you've experienced, the sense of being cut off, helpless, overtaken, powerless, and that you have learned to heal that. And you have learned to heal that through some kind of community, through some kind of celebration of your vision of community. So this takes me back to this place of your aspiration, what inspires you, your humanitarian goals, the way you see improving upon your community, your experience, your social experience, your relationships within the community, a better world. This is something that you are moving through and towards. You already have this vision that feels very discrete from an environment you grew up in. So it tells me that perhaps you were part of a very holistic community, a social experience of neighbors and community members working together in some way, even if that was not formalized. This can be the experience of training, where the community of your school or training program became that supportive network where resources were shared and amplified through being safe within the needs of others and addressing those needs that included yourself. There's a deep honor and respect you have for those allies you developed along the way. And there looks to be an incredible intimacy with, it can be family members, friends, chosen family, but there's a way in which you recognize, near or far, there are alliances you have that provide you with the support, the protection, the vulnerability, the ability to be vulnerable and not be taken advantage of, and to build upon that hope, that desire, that support, that intimacy, that sharing of stories without judgment. That feels key here. So there's a relieving of judgment that has already occurred in your past, a way that you've moved past judging those, perhaps those that hurt you. You've learned not to judge them, to honor them, to not second guess their motives or their intentions, but to accept that they did perhaps the best they could do under the circumstances. And in the present, the 9 of Pentacles is clarified by the Messenger of Air, the Knight of Swords, and the 6 of Pentacles. So this is about a way that you now approach your relationships and all exchanges of energy, because this is telling me that you are the leader of something that you're building that requires you to be rational, to detach yourself from powerful feelings and emotions you have. Mind you that these emotions themselves are gifts, that these are part of a constellation of a talent that you have, that they help to verify for you what is right. So you've learned to detach yourself from those gifts, those emotions or feelings in order to ascertain the truth, the correct way, doing things correctly. And this is particularly relevant in terms of the contracts and relationships you build as you're building this community, this business, this project. As a Libra, by nature, you already are adept at negotiating relationships, contracts, starting from what it is you desire, identifying your goals first and foremost with the clear intention and flexibility to negotiate that along the way as circumstances, as resources change. So this is a beautiful quality in building up, in being laser focused on your goals so that you can pull your relationships and alliances in accordance with your aspirations. You can consider offers in terms of their willingness or participation in the higher vision or goal you have for this project. And in the future, we have the call or the judgment card and the three of air, which is the three of swords. It's interesting because this is reaffirming for me that your work is in healing. The work that you now recognize is purpose for you, is mission for you, is about identifying the wounds within yourself necessarily. That's always the first step. And how to heal those wounds without judgment. Kind of going back to the work that you've already been doing for years, understanding how you've been limited, but how you can understand that, overcome that, and rethink the vision, alter your perspective in a way that focuses on what works when people come together and want to change things, support each other, what works. So that shift is maturing, that shift in perspective has matured to a place of recognizing that this is your call to purpose. You can identify patterns of behaviors that hurt, cause pain, suffering, that limit your perspective, that blame others, that don't take responsibility for your experience, your reality, your wound. What part do individuals play in that? And because you've done that work, are doing that work, and you're calling back in pleasure, joy in the opportunity to heal, recognizing that this is the sacred human journey we're all on. This is what's bringing you your power as a healer. In fact, I see you as someone who is training other healers, if not now, certainly eventually. Perhaps what you're building is a container for a variety of kinds of healing services that can be offered to others. But it is about your ultimate mature experiential awareness of how our wounds, our pain can be transformed into tools to help others. This has a lot of resonance of the planet Chiron, the wounded healer. This is definitely a story you can look up if you're not familiar. But that wounded healer had a wound that ultimately could never be healed, and yet they spent their lives uh, training, teaching, expanding the awareness of others. And this was absolutely related to the cultivation of physical health and well-being, along with the psychological uh, uh, transformation from being rejected at birth to one of being beloved, in the way that we can love a teacher, someone who we may not have known, but who showed us some incredible, powerful truth. I'm going to finish this reading, Libra, with a flower oracle and hope this has been insightful. I pulled the orange blossom and the keyword is enthusiasm. The best can be here. Believe it. I think you've got this, Libra, and I am so incredibly proud of you. Thank you so much. Until next time, namaste.